There's never been a commitment for a conference to discuss a national political strategy for the marijuana movement. And if you did have it, it would be, if you announced it, it would be so totally infiltrated that no one there that said anything
would believe it.
Well, no, the people that would say anything there wouldn't really count anyway, because the ones that could do anything wouldn't be there, or they wouldn't be saying what they could do while they were there. They'd just be watching to see who put this bunch of clowns together and what are they trying to do to their movement. And they would be there primarily as either disruptors or monitor extraordinaires, or, you know what I mean? And that would be the way it, I mean, I could be taken totally wrong, but if I heard that there was a national conference, and give me any town, it'd be scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, would you go?
That's what I'm saying. It would be scary. We'd have to make a real determination, and there'd have to be, you know what I mean? It would be now, interesting, I don't think that way about the Drug Policy Foundation, and it's right in the fishbowl, and we know that there are things there and stuff, but it's because we've been involved with them for this is going on the 4th year now, and as a result, you build up a liaison with people other than your own crew when you continuously go to an annual conference that's growing. The new people don't know that you haven't been there since the beginning, and they see by the network of people that you know that they're just now meeting that you've been there a while, and so they assume. Assumptions are what they are in a lateral structure, as people are quickly trying to make as many networking contacts as they can in a 4-day, 5-day period. That if you speak up at 3 or 4 different workshops, everybody knows you. Now they have all those videotapes and stuff, and if you ask astute questions or something, it's pumped back and pumped back and pumped back, so that by the next time you come next year, people remember you from last year as that person that did that. And I have a reputation for lighting up in the hall and sitting on the marble tables and smoking pot and hash in front of everybody. And when people complain about it, I said, what, we don't have enough lawyers around here in case we're in Washington, man? It's a weekend. What are they going to do? Barry's the mayor. Well, now it's different, but, you know, I mean, you get what I'm saying? So in that sense, I never have felt, and it always used to be, well, let them do it, man. It's Washington. It's a fucking federal case. Make it a federal case. Let's do it. That was before all the RICO Act and all that other stuff, and mandatory sentencing and guidelines and so on and so forth. So now it's dangerous to do it in Washington, D.C. So right on, let's do it. Rent a restaurant and let's do it. And then we do it. It happens. You know what I mean? So in that sense, that lawyers are still mixing with those of us who won't do it any other way. You know, if we would have shaved our heads shaved our faces and cut our hair and worn a tie or something, they would have loved to have had us on their team all these years, and we probably could have gotten it over with sooner. But who wanted that shallow a victory? It wasn't to make a deal with government. It was to rise up the people's consciousness to get the government off of our back, Reagan included.
Reagan included. Hey, Bush included.
Bone checker, bone checker, she's in her.
So Pennsylvania was on Jack's list because he was on his way to the Gay Day Parade in New York to give Dennis Peron some books or something, I forget. Oh no, that they had the pamphlet. They had the book in a pamphlet. They had excerpts of the book, Emperor Wears No Clothes, in a pamphlet form, which they mailed out to, I think, 80,000 people in Oregon, registered Democrat voters, etc. Yeah. Which had maybe about 10 chapters of the original Emperor in reduced type kind of stuff and in a paste up form. Yeah. And he had to deliver them to New York, to Dennis Peron for the float for the Gay Day Parade and Gay Pride Day Parade in New York.
Did he?
Yeah, I worked it with him. It was great. We had a booth, they had a table, and Dennis's float won, with all the marijuana leaves and everything on it, won the the most novel award or something. It won an award for being, you know, it had big, huge marijuana leaves and joints that puffed smoke out the ends of them, and it was,
People's favorite.
yeah, and Dennis and everybody up there on the stage singing like to a reggae beat. It was crazy. Well, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's San Francisco nuts. You know, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's all the things that you've ever imagined. And right in the village there we were with a table. You know, when they come to the end of it and everything, with a table selling his books and stuff.
I gotta take a
So then they raced from there. That's okay. Just leave it. They raced from there to the Pennsylvania Gathering because they were then on their way to the Smoke-In. So they went down to the Smoke-In and got in trouble at the Smoke-In and left me stranded at the Pennsylvania Gathering. Well, everything I had was in Tucson. I lost all my belongings in Tucson. They got thrown out of the apartment in
It's like a
Tucson.
new beginning, though.
Oh, it's how many times I have to go through this beginning over and over again. You have,
Forever, yeah.
so anyway, I wound up in Pennsylvania. And I said, well, there's only one thing I can do, man, and that's go back to New York for a while and check things out. So I went back to New York, and I was in New York one day, and I said, what? The Peace March? The Peace March is coming across the bridge. We better go meet them folks. I remember some people that were on the Peace March. That was way back, you know, before I went to the Colorado Springs thing.
Yeah.
It was way back in the spring, and they were blah, blah, blah. And we sent food up from the Tucson Co-op up to the one little bit when they went through the little bitty bit of Arizona. And so then, you know, I wound up saying to them, well, man, got to go to out to the end of West End Avenue and Riverside Drive there and see who's in the march and stuff. So then I marched through the boroughs with them, everyone but Staten Island. I was going to go to Staten Island and I didn't for some reason. I forget what. I was born on Staten Island, so I was really going to Steve, but I went through the other boroughs with them and played music for them for lunch on a hand drum at Grant's Tomb when they all had their lunch in New York. And then right at the time we were doing that, they were being interviewed on the Donahue show, you know, some of the marchers and stuff. So it was really like great timing just to be involved in it.
Yeah.
So then I vowed that I was, for my grandson and my granddaughter and you know, people, I would have to march. Since I had nothing else to do and I was on the, sort of like cast out like one out on the East Coast, bouncing around like, where do I go from here? What am I doing here? I said, Peace March, and I picked them up in Philadelphia and I marched all the way into Washington with them. And then I was in D.C. and picked up some of my old partners, and we got into the war on drugs and
I had heard that you had made it to D.C. and back and forth between D.C. and New York was what I heard. For,
yeah,
2 or 3 years or something.
yeah. 86, 88. In 88 I met Amanda.
Back in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, May of 88 I met Amanda at the regional, and I went to North Carolina too, by the way. But I met Amanda at the regional in Gettysburg in May of 88. Then we went to the, her and Shelley and I, in Shelley's car, went to Atlanta for the Democratic Convention.
Oh, the one that nominated Jimmy Carter?
No, the one that nominated.
Walter Mondale.
Who did they nominate?
Caucus?
Gary Hart? No. Who did they nominate?
What year?
Monday? 88.
The caucus.
I guess all you got to do is write the CIA or the FBI and say, I'm so and so, and I'm involved in a subversive organization.
Right, the caucus or the splash motion.
I'll tell you what's going on.
Yeah, that's who it was. No wonder, man. Anyway.
Oh, whackbusters. This way.
The Bubba Month.
Yeah, it was 88. It was Dukakis, right on.